In Godric's Hollow, the Weatherly Castle was brightly lit. A huge and wide mahogany dining table was simply furnished with a pair of knives and forks, 3 plates of food, and a lit candlestick. Skylar was sitting at the dining table awkwardly eating dinner. The thick gauze bandaged around his eyebrows and eyes would sometimes block his vision when he lowered his head. But he was so hungry that after not eating for a day and a half, he didn't care about this minor problem. Even in front of the 3 households, he didn't follow the so-called noble etiquette and wolfed down the bacon and mashed potatoes into his mouth. After Skylar finished and let out a long belch, the house elf Dobby couldn't hold back anymore. He knocked on the table with his thin and sturdy fingers and reminded Master Skylar, "Please pay attention to your demeanor. There are 2 young ladies in the house. Don't set a bad example for them." Skylar smiled apologetically and indicated that he understood. Dobby then bowed and led his wife and son to start cleaning up the messy cups and plates on the dining table. Watching the family of 3 disappear in an instant, Skylar couldn't help but be a little surprised. Although there were countless memories of this in the memories he had fully accepted, seeing the magic of the house elves with his own eyes still made him marvel at their magic. After all, as a time traveler who believed in science, neither the act of time travel itself nor the mere 10-year magical memory could compare to the 24-year belief in science. But these experiences still enhanced his adaptability to the mysterious magical world. At least he wouldn't be dumbfounded like a muggle seeing a ghost. Leisurely leaning on the matching mahogany chair, looking around this ancient and solemn castle, thinking of the wealth and magic he was about to inherit, Skylar couldn't help but chuckle. But the faint pain in his forehead kept reminding him that things might not be so simple. The Weatherly family has lived in Godric's Hollow for generations. Although not one of the Sacred 28, they have a long history and considerable heritage. Strictly speaking, they are a branch of the Lestrange family and they all respect ravens. However, the Weatherly family crest is not a raven but a niffler. They believe that money is the basis for maintaining the prosperity of the family. Especially during Skylar's great-grandfather's time, with a good eye for business, he made a fortune and once became the wealthiest pureblood family in the British Isles. But wealth attracts greed. After 2 magical civil wars, especially the retaliation of the Death Eaters, the attacks on this family that openly resisted them have never stopped. Skylar's grandfather, father, and mother died one after another in the attacks of the Death Eaters. And some time ago his grandmother, Mary Weatherly, died at home for no apparent reason. Even the day before yesterday, his original body died from accidentally falling down the stairs. These successive events are filled with a strong sense of conspiracy, which makes Skylar have to suspect that someone is secretly cursing their family, especially those surviving Death Eaters. If this matter is not investigated clearly, a dark cloud will always loom over the Weatherly family, which clearly does not conform to the family's belief that ravens do not die in the night. As he frowned tightly, the magic power in his body began to stir quietly. A large black cloud gradually gathered above the castle, with lightning flashing and thunder rumbling resounding throughout the ancient castle. Skylar was startled. Before he could calm himself down, he rushed upstairs in a panic because he had already heard his sisters crying. Pushing open his sister's room, Dobby and his wife were already there, each holding a small toy and trying to coax Lily. But Lily just wouldn't stop crying, and her cute little face was covered with rivers of tears. Skylar rushed forward, quickly hugged this youngest sister, gently kissed her forehead, and then rocked her to sleep. Fortunately, the lightning and thunder had disappeared. In her brother's arms, Lily, smelling the familiar wisteria fragrance, pouted her little mouth and fell asleep sweetly. Gently putting Lily down, Skylar touched her little belly to let her continue to sleep peacefully. When her breathing was steady, he gently covered her with a blanket and left. After leaving Lily's room, Skylar couldn't resist looking into the next room. But as soon as he gently opened the door, Skylar felt that the girl inside was crying silently. Looking at the dark room, Skylar was very anxious and thought about lighting the lamp quickly. But before he could instruct Dobby's son back, the candlestick on the wall suddenly lit up. Looking strangely at the fire and then at Beck, Skylar didn't think much and trotted to his second sister Victoria, gently patting her back while saying gently, "Don't be afraid, don't be afraid, brother is here. Listen, the thunder is gone. Our big princess shouldn't shed golden tears anymore." Victoria buried her head in her brother's chest, feeling a little annoyed and a little happy. But older children are always more sensible. Thinking of her brother's head injury, Victoria quickly recovered and instead cared about Skylar. Skylar smiled, gently pinched her delicate nose and said, "Remember the family motto, ravens do not die in the night. As this raven won't fall so easily. I still have to watch you and Lily marry someone you like." Victoria shyly punched him and he stopped joking and kissed her forehead as well. After comforting Victoria, Skylar returned downstairs. Looking at the vast darkness of the night, he kind of wanted to have a cigarette. "Dobby, haven't we received a letter yet?" Dobby teleported in front of him and bowed. "Master Skylar, we haven't received a reply from Professor Dumbledore yet. Do I need to send a raven too?" Before he finished speaking, a flash of fire appeared in the castle. An old man with a long white beard and a bird on his shoulder stood in front of the dining table. "I don't think so, Mr. Skylar is already here." Looking at the spectacular arrival of Dumbledore, Skylar's heart was filled with enthusiasm. This was the most powerful headmaster and surely could solve the current problem of his family. "Welcome to the Raven Castle, Professor Dumbledore. I sincerely thank you for coming. I'm really at my wit's end and have to trouble you to help me see if our family is really cursed." Dumbledore smiled genially and raised his hand slightly, saying, "Mr. Skylar, don't worry, I came here specially to help you solve this matter. We have plenty of time. Let's first slowly talk about your speculation and you'll prepare something by the way." Skylar nodded and began to tell about his grandmother's accidental death and his accidental fall from the stairs. After he finished speaking, Dumbledore also prepared the props, a mirror and a basin of water. "Relax, child. Ravens do not die in the night. I remember your family has always believed in this sentence. I think you'll be fine. Come look here." He gently tapped the mirror with his elder wand and a strong beam of light shot from the mirror onto Skylar. Immediately a black smoke curled around him and from time to time someone's fierce face appeared. "Mr. Skylar, I think your speculation is correct. Someone has cursed you and your family. I think the Ministry of Magic should be responsible for this, but let me first help you lift this damn curse." Dumbledore's expression became solemn. His words were steady and reassuring. "I think you're right. I'll follow your advice." With unknown potions spilled on them, wailing black fog dissipated and the 3 Weasley siblings and the 4 members of the Dobby family all felt much more relaxed. "Heartfelt thanks to you, Professor Dumbledore. If not for your help, I really wouldn't know what to do." Skylar, holding his 2 sisters, bowed deeply to Dumbledore. The Dobby family followed suit, but the younger sister of the Dobby family stared intently at Dumbledore's long beard with a longing look to catch it after standing up. Dumbledore looked at her and smiled. He didn't expect a young house-elf to dare to do this to him, but this also shows that the Weasley family is very kind to house-elves and can even be said to be an exception. Minnie, with Dobby's scolding, the young house-elf stopped the curious probing and lowered her head timidly. Skylar stepped forward, solemnly touched Nanny's small head and said to Dumbledore, "Sorry, Professor, our family has always regarded house-elves as family members. I hope you can forgive the rudeness of this child."